The big news is Mohamed Salah, he is staying. Mohamed Salah remains a Red. Mohamed Salah is not going anywhere until at least next summer. That's the news that we've got for you this evening. Many fine people have been reporting on it. Yes, Saudi will come back in for Mo, but in 2024, because the man, the king, he wants to stay. And that's what we want to hear. That's what every single one of us wanted to hear, because this could be a very productive season for Liverpool Football Club. And how much better would it be for Mo if he does go off on a high, with a trophy or two, another few records, and the adulation that he deserves for a career at Liverpool Football Club. So that is the breaking news tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't believe me, maybe you'll believe Fabrizio, who said Saudi will be back in for Mohamed Salah in 2024, but at the moment Liverpool are keeping their player and their stance has been unchanged. He is untouchable. That is what we like to hear. So get shining that trophy, because we're coming for it. And yeah, we are on a title charge, and I don't care. I've seen enough to know that this team are capable of great things. Now, yes, it's 4 games into a season. Yes, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. But no, I do not care, because I'm over the moon. This video is sponsored by Surfshark, the best VPN on the market. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to change your location to access websites in other countries and keep you safe and secure from hackers. Using Surfshark, we here in Ireland can access other countries' Netflix libraries or other streaming platforms like DAZN in Spain for all those important Premier League games. Surfshark keeps you safe and private by protecting everything you do online. Everything. When your device connects to the internet, all that information is, in a way, blurred out. Surfshark is particularly useful for keeping you safe from being hacked if you use public Wi-Fi. Let's say you're in a cafe, you're at college, you're out and about, they've got you covered. Surfshark allows you to use one subscription on unlimited devices, meaning you can share your account with friends or family or that neighbour who's a little bit cheap. On top of all of this, Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can also upgrade to Surfshark One, which includes the VPN, an alert system for breaches related to your data, such as emails and credit cards, and an antivirus software for your desktop. Our sign-up offer gives you Surfshark VPN for a little over €2 a month, and you'll get an additional 3 months free. Simply scan the QR code on screen right now, or use the link in the description and enter the code Anfield Agenda at checkout. Can I say we're in a title race? Because I tell you what, it feels to me like we're in a title race. And I know it's only 4 games in, and I know you can't win a league in 4 games, but you can lose it in 4 games. Just ask United and Newcastle. They'll be able to tell you all about losing a league in the first 4 games. United today were beaten by, I don't want to say an average Arsenal side, because that would be a disrespect. But that game today, for me, showed that Liverpool can get above the level that was on display in that Arsenal-Manchester United game. I thought at times it was very slow-paced, very overly tactical. And I think with Dominic Szoboszlai and Alexis McAllister getting up in people's faces and are pressing from the front, I think Liverpool can do a lot of damage this season. And yes, Manchester City are the gold standard at the minute. They're the only ones, I think, maybe with West Ham maybe as well. But Manchester City are the ones we need to be looking at. And they have a perfect 12 points from 12. So that's what we need to get doing. But we've had a difficult start. Chelsea away in the opening day of the season. Newcastle away down to 10 men. Aston Villa at home today. And we've dealt with it all rather well. And I'm very optimistic. City are so smug, they cannot sleep on us, said Jack Howe. They can't. They can't sleep on us because they'll pay. If they sleep on us, they'll pay. Because that City team look beatable to me. That City team look far from daunting compared to City teams of the past. And I think us and Arsenal could give them a real run for their money this year. Do you think Kwanzaa is good enough for us? Personally, I think he's class, but not for a big game. Gerald Kwanzaa's moment will come. But right now, it's a sweet time because we get to see little glimpses of him. I'm sure we'll get to see him in the Europa League. The best compliment that we can give to young Kwanzaa is that he's never looked out of place when Jurgen's called upon him. But it's a difficult position, and especially if you're a young man, 20 years of age, trying to break into a big club's first team at centre-back, it's pretty hard, right? But Jurgen Klopp has shown belief in him, and we haven't signed another centre-back in the summer window. So we have 4 centre-backs and young Jarrell Kwanzaa. So let's make use of them. To be honest, if you look at the mistakes we made, there is much to improve on as well. Yes, always wanting to improve, mate, you're right. But for a team that has been just put together, and that is an entire new midfield, I'm pretty happy with what we've done. And we haven't even seen Ryan Gravenberch yet. So I'm basing what I'm saying off what I'm seeing, and there's still more to come because we have to introduce Ryan to the team and we have to see how he settles in. But we look like we've made some very, very good pieces of business, and Dominic Szoboszlai is incredible. Incredible. And to think that young man's only 22 years of age and he's already showing what he can do. Did you guys have a look back over Liverpool's first goal today? Apparently there was a bit of a to-do in the Premier League studio, Matchday studio, because they believe it should have been offside. Apparently they think Mo Salah was standing in Emi Martinez's way. At least we're getting consistency, right? Because we've seen a few of these goals stand over the course of this weekend. Ones where we would have perhaps before said, yeah, maybe he is in the keeper's way. But all we ask for as fans is consistency, and we've got that consistency. So I don't care if they're crying or whinging about a goal that should or shouldn't have stood. It did stand, and that's all that matters right now. And Liverpool would have won the game regardless because we were the better team today. I have nothing but respect for Aston Villa, Unai Emery. They're a great club and he will do good things there. But we showed today that we were that class above. And I'm not going to apologise for that. I thought we were brilliant. Come on, let's not get carried away. McAllister's been poor. Has he? Has he though? I don't think he has, Anne. I would say that he's been played out of position and he hasn't really had a chance to settle in. Today was the first game outside of the opening one where he had 11 players on the pitch with him altogether, and again he was being asked to play in a 6. So I think Alexis McAllister will come. I think I see enough there to let me know that there's a very, very, very strong group. Elliott came on, did well when he came on. It was great to see Jones back in the starting 11. I thought Trent's display was exquisite, you know, until he went off at 70 minutes. And Jurgen said that was a hamstring injury, so we're not exactly sure on the prognosis with Trent, but I guess we'll have to wait for an update. Klopp did confirm it was a hamstring, so let's wait and see. Craig, I think Liverpool are improving, but United are getting worse. Do you agree? I do. I do. Yes, I do. Who loves orange soda? Craig loves orange soda. Is it true? It's true. I do. Yes. Yeah. How do you spend that much money and be that crap? This is a genuine question. Like, what nearly made me fall off my chair was Gary Neville. So let me just take you through a little bit of what happened in the post-match chat on Sky if you didn't see it. The presenter was saying that, Gary, apparently the Glazers aren't selling now. And before he could even finish, Mr. Neville decided to chime in with, they are, they've got to. Why, Gary? Because you say they have to. I'm not going to give up about it. That's okay, Gary. You can keep crying about it. That's fine. Nobody cares, mate. You keep crying. But then, this is what really got me. He said, United have had issues with FFP. United floundering around in the transfer market. And then the presenter, in fairness to him, said, but Gary, outside of Chelsea, Manchester United have had the second highest net spend. And then Gary said, as it should be, we're Manchester United. Well, which one is it, Gary? Are you crying about the money that you got given, or you're not? But either way, you overpaid for your keeper, you overpaid for your striker, and you bought a sick note in Mason Mount, who, let's be honest, is not going to pull up any trees at United long term. So, stop moaning. I would envy Jurgen Klopp having that much money to spend. I really, really, really would. And I get it. The Glazers are terrible owners. Terrible. But I've said this consistently all the way through. I have every sympathy with Manchester United fans on the Glazers. Every sympathy. But you can't say they haven't given the managers money. You can talk about how that money was wasted. You can talk about people not being in the right positions at Manchester United as a club. But my God, they've spent money. Second highest in this transfer window. And it's not anybody else's fault that they've spent money on questionable signings. Sorry, but that's how I see it. Nah, Craig, but FFP is just an excuse according to them, said Lucas. It's mental. It's mental. Because he went on to say United generate 500 million. Yeah, so did we, Gary. But our manager's still having to operate with a fairly small budget compared to other top 5 clubs. But he's still pulling out the signings. He's still bringing in the McAllisters, the Soboslais, the Gravenbergs. I rest my case, Gary. Do you think we will challenge City for the title? Because I think we might win the title, said Bailey. And look, it's going to be difficult, Bailey, because City are a good side. Arsenal are a good side. But I think that's the level that we should hope we're at this season. I think Spurs will fall away a bit, if I'm honest. I think that they'll pick up an injury or two, and I think they'll do well, but I don't think they'll keep pace. I really feel there could be 3 clubs pushing for the title this season. And you make Manchester City favourites. Of course you do. But you'd have to say Liverpool and Arsenal are looking like they're capable of it. Now, I said to everybody last season that I thought Newcastle would come unstuck. And some people told me I was deluded. And look, it's early days. But they've only got 3 points from 12. 3. They've lost to City. They lost to us. And they lost to Brighton. So they're under pressure, and this is before we even get into the European games, and they've not got that deep a squad, Newcastle. Chelsea under Pochettino are, and I robbed that of one of you, by the way, from earlier, so sorry for that. They look like they haven't got a Scooby-Doo. They've just met each other. Their players are already crying about not wanting to be there. You know, Lavia apparently wanted to come to Liverpool, but his greedy agent wanted that 7-year contract. This is what happens. And I'm loving it. I am a very, very smug, happy, contented Liverpool fan right now. Especially with the news that Mohamed Salah is going nowhere until next year, which is what we wanted to hear. He tried to bring his mid-Ajax players in, Ten Humpty, said Colin. Yeah, but it's okay, Colin, because they signed Amrabat on loan, so that means that they're going to win the league now. The way Sky have gone on about that Amrabat signing, by the way, is ridiculous. Ridiculous. United sign Amrabat on loan, and Sky go on like Jesus has just been reinvented and come back to football. It's Amrabat. He lost the Europa League Conference League final. He is a solid player, but he's not going to be, I don't know, Messi. But let them live in their deluded little fantasy land. It only makes it all the sweeter when we just go about our business quietly. And at what point is Ten Hag going to be under pressure? He should have been under pressure when they lost 7-0 to us. Like, that should be unforgivable. I never got the hype. They got lucky last season because we were crap. Honestly, do you not see some warning signs already with Ten Hag? His results against the other top 5 or 6 haven't been great since he's come in. He has progressed United a little bit. He has. And there are certain moments that I thought he handled quite well. I thought he handled the Ronaldo situation quite well. Jadon Sancho's tweet is pretty damning because clearly something is not right there at the minute. What are your thoughts about Julian Alvarez? I've said it when they signed him, and I'll say it again. Manchester City got themselves an unbelievable bargain signing Julian Alvarez from River Plate. He's a very, very good footballer. I think Haaland will exit Manchester City and go to Real Madrid, even though apparently Endrick was promised that Real Madrid won't sign Haaland. But yeah, Alvarez is a really good player. Soboslai signing of the season. I remember, Callum, when we signed Dominic Soboslai, and I remember some comments on some of the YouTube videos that I made saying welcome to Liverpool Football Club. Some of them said dudes have just signed a squad player for Leipzig and think that they've signed Messi or Ronaldo. We knew what we were getting. Those of us who've watched Soboslai knew what a player Liverpool were getting. We knew him from Salzburg. We know him from Leipzig. We've watched him with Hungary. He is going to look like a bargain. And he's only 22 years of age. And he's brilliant. And he's very, very deserving of that number 8 shirt.